Karissa, your favorite health, fitness, and mindset coach, helping women all over the world boss up and get healthy. If that is you and you're like, I need to get healthy, give me a call. Let's see if we would be a good fit for each other. But, anyways, welcome to Weekends with Karissa. And I'm just, these videos are all about answering the questions that I get from you, all like from women all over the world, like literally between interviews and DMs and, Facebook messages, all those things, emails. So I just kind of wanted to pop in and answer this question today. So the question is, how do I become a more positive, optimistic person? And this is a great question because I truly believe that staying positive and being super optimistic when it comes to my life, when it comes to my health, like everything, even growing a business, it comes down to some key things. And number one is staying positive and optimistic instead of always so negative. So, how I like to address this question. So, how can one go from negative, like a negative Nancy, to a positive cheerleader? So some quick tips on how to shift, right, your negative mindset, your negative self-talk into something more empowering. Okay, so are you ready to, if you're ready to become the cheerleader of your life and your body, then this video is for you. Okay. All right, number one is you need to become aware of your own BS. So that voice inside your head, which I believe we all have multiple voices, and trust me, I have conversations with them all. I even name some of them, right? So there's like, and let's just talk about the two right now, like the negative, disempowering, the BSer, the toxic Nancy that's going on in your head. And if your name's Nancy, I'm so sorry. Or there's the powerhouse boss babe cheerleader that's like, yes, you can do it, right? We all have those voices. It's just a matter of which one is stronger, right? Which one is going to show up today and really either help me or discourage me? So when it comes to self-talk, and we have these two voices, okay, the next question that I get is, well, how do you shift it? And that's exactly what we're talking about today. But how do you shift it? How do you make the cheerleader voice way more louder than the negative one, the BSer, right? The vampire that just sucks all your energy dry. You start feeding the positive one more, right? So think about feeding this positive self-talk with the people you hang out with, the information that you're taking in, reading, social media, all of that stuff. If you're hanging around negative people, you eventually become negative. If you go out with the girls and they're always, like complaining and comparing and judging other people, and you're like, oh, I just don't like this, but you still stay with them, you're eventually going to rub off, right? Their crap is going to rub off on you. So you have to feed the positive cheerleader more. There's a good story, it's an old story, about two wolves that live within inside of us. One's the mean one, and one is the good one. And which one wins? It's always the one that you feed more. It's time to feed the cheerleader, right? So I want to go back to becoming aware of your own BS. And what I mean by that is, if you're that person who literally walks by the mirror and you're like, ugh, gross, I wish you could do something about yourself, blah, 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 like that negative person, right? All you have to do is start to become aware of how much that voice is popping up. That can become a habit, right? Where people don't even realize that they talk to themselves with such negativity. They body shame everything that they do. I told you you weren't enough. You're never going to be able to go after that job, blah, 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 right? This is all BS. So become aware of it. And once you become aware of your BS, then you can start to shift it. So step one is just become aware, right? Aware of it. Step two is to start talking to yourself, like ask yourself these questions, like, where does this negativity come from? Whose story is actually shining through? So when I think to myself, and I still struggle with this, Karissa, you're not enough, right? Sometimes, and I know a lot of women have this issue, is we don't feel we're worthy or or like worthy of change or enough to take care of ourselves. We feel guilty for doing stuff with ourselves. It's this sense of, where does this story come from? That is not your story, ladies. You feeling like you are not enough with somebody else's insecurities put on you. It doesn't mean that it was a negative thing, like our parents didn't intentionally try and be mean to us, But the things that we were told from birth has been imprinted into our brain, and we start to feel like what we do is not enough, right? So these stories that you're telling yourself, they're not true. Okay. So ask yourself these types of conversational questions. Like, where does this story come from? Why do you feel fat today? Why do you feel like a failure? Why do you feel like your coaching programs aren't enough? Why do you feel like you're never going to, achieve X, Y, and Z? Ask yourself, journal, reflect on that. Okay. And then the third tip is to really shift from negative to positive, going and recognizing when the negative Nancy appears, addressing it, becoming aware that she's there, and then let that cheerleader start talking, right? So when you walk by the mirror or you start saying something bad about yourself, you can just stop the voice. You can say, I hear you, and you don't need to be here. And you just start letting that girl talk, right? Girl, you are enough. You're gorgeous. You're powerful. You're strong. You are worthy. Everything, right? You can live that way. You can boss up and get that raise. Just let her talk. The cheerleader wants to come out and play. Trust me. Life in the positive is so much better than living a life in the negative. All right, y'all, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's answer to that very hot question. Bye for now.